Hi there. We are going to do a watercolor project today that's kind of half watercolor and half doodle. So let me sit down here and I'll explain what we need to have in terms of supplies. So as I said, we're going to do a watercolor. So you need some mixed media paper. You need your paper toweling. For this one, I'd like for you to each have 2 bowls of water. One will be for cleaning our brushes, and the other one will be for just when we paint water onto the paper. And then your set of watercolor paints. Okay, so this is going to be just an abstract, simple kind of piece. But what I want you to think about is color today. And so you have all of these in your, I'll pull this over here. You have all of these different colors in your watercolor set. And most of the time you're able to kind of jump all around here and use all sorts of different colors. Okay, today's lesson, we're going to do something a little differently. We're going to work with what is called on the color wheel in color theory, analogous colors. So what do I mean by those? Those are colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. So you might think, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do that. Yes, you do, because the way that your set is laid out, they've done it for you. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is pick one row of color. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you might choose to use this row of colors. You might use only this row. Okay, you might want to use the greens, the purples. We have kind of the darker reds, and then we have more of the pinks. Okay, so you're gonna, you know the saying, you're gonna stay in your lane. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So you can use whatever row you want, but it has to be just that one row for this particular project. So I'm going to choose this row. I like all of these different colors of blues. Okay, and so I'm going to set this over here. And basically what you need to do is just paint little circles, and we're going to do the wet on wet method again, which, if you recall, is that you put just plain water on your paper. And so I'm going to start down here and just paint it with water, and then I'm going to pick up my first color of blue, get some pigment on that, and then I'm going to paint it in the water area. Okay, and we've done this technique before, so you know that it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to keep this water clean. So I'm going to clean off my brush in that water. Okay. So what we're going to do is just continue on painting with water first, selecting a paint color from that one row, and then letting it just kind of do its thing. Okay, now you can have some of the circles touch each other. So then I'm going to go into my quote-unquote dirty paint water before painting. So you can have them touch a little bit, and you'll see that they kind of blend together. These don't have to be perfect circles. I'm going to go with a light one here, And you can kind of play around with the different colors. So your analogous colors are going to look really cool together, right? And you can, again, you do clean off, and then and I'm going to do a series of small circles here. And then pick a different color. And just kind of lightly put them on the water. So you get some contrast, but with analogous paint colors, you're not going to get too much. There we go. And I think I'm going to do another one here. Again, this is kind of an organic composition, so you can decide how you want it to look, right? Always dip your into your clear water. So I'm going to add another one right there. And maybe a little bitty one there. I'm just kind of making my own composition as we go. Trying to achieve some balance. There you go. Okay, I'm liking that. So now I'm going to do another circle here. And looks like I haven't used one of my colors yet. Whoops, I had to think there. I almost put my dirty brush into my... Now I'm going to do more of a larger circle right here. Kind of bring it... Maybe I'll have it touch both of these. By having them touch occasionally, then you are kind of making your composition balanced. forgot to, I was thinking about color and I forgot about putting another circle up here. Whoops, gotta watch me. So you can move your paper around just a little bit. Okay, so when you've got some circles on there, I'm going to let you stray from your one line of color, and you can come over here and pick up a kind of a neutral, so a gray, you know, a brown. Over here you might want to pick up these colors, okay? And then you can decide, well, where would it be kind of fun to have some contrast? And that means colors that are different from what I'm using. And so I want to, I think I'm going to pick up just a little darker. So one contrasting color. And I'm going to do and you should keep it pretty neutral. I'm going to make this darker. And you can kind of fill in some of the gaps. And I'm just kind of making some dots. Okay, I think I need something right here. So I'm going to make one more that's kind of down here. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. Our next step is you need to have your black Sharpie, your trusty handy dandy black Sharpie, but we need to really let this dry a lot. So I'm going to pause the video to let you continue painting. When you're done with the painting, set it aside. It's probably going to take, you know, a good 10 minutes for it to dry. We don't want to use the hair dryer on it or anything because it'll start moving the wet paint around, and we want it to just be as it is. Okay, so see you in a little bit. Okay, we have our dry paper and paints now, and if yours is like mine, it probably wrinkled up a little bit, and so when we're done with this final step, you can put it under some heavy books or something to flatten it out. Okay, so now we're going to take our ultrafine Sharpies, or if you're more comfortable holding the thicker Sharpie, that's fine as well. And you can draw these designs with pencil if you want, or you can go straight for, be bold and go straight for the black marker. But we're going to take some of these shapes and add some line work to them. Okay, and you can kind of look at what how the paint dried and use those to inform your work if you want. But I'm going to start with this one. They could be sort of abstract flower shapes if you want. I'm going to do a couple of lines here. And then put some lines like this. And I'll do another one on the outside. You can cross over the outside of your shapes if you want. That's perfectly fine. You can make them look like they are overlapping each other. Down here. Make another shape. I'm just giving you some suggestions on how to do this. You definitely do not have to use my shapes. And you can just kind of play around with these. We're not going to put line work on all of the circle shapes, just a few of them. So you can kind of think about where you want those to be. Just making some little dots. Can make this look like a little seed pod. Okay. You know I have to do a spiral. I love my spirals. It can look like a little bud. Now this one I've got a little white spot here in the middle. And so I'm going to make that kind of the highlight of the center of this shape. So these end up being kind of plant-like in their feel and the line work, but not probably like any flowers you've seen or plants that you've seen. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I might do another bud here. See, these kind of take shape as you want them to. And then this one, I'm just going to just up and down. I think I'm going to take this one and color it in so that that white spot shows up a little bit more. There we go. I like that. Decided I wanted to make these look like kind of like a bunch of roses. I wasn't really liking them just floating around. Just the bigger ones. There we go. Yep. I like that better. All right, so there you are. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you soon.